All right, so like every time I used to see how the book of Ecclesiastes and everything, like how everything is like so weirdly unfair, and how we as people tend to judge things from how we see it and how we are trained to react to certain things. So I'm going to read from this is Ecclesiastes 9:15. But there was found in it. So he's talking about, all right, I'll start from 13. I have seen this example of wisdom under the sun, and it seemed great to me. There was a little city with a few men in it, and a great king came against it and besieged it, building great siege works against it. But there was found in it a poor wise man. So poor righteous man, poor wise man, and by his wisdom delivered the city. Yet no one remembered that poor man. But I say that wisdom is better than might, though the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard. So yeah, check it out, like the poor man's wisdom. So here it is speaking about how there was a certain place, and a certain man was able to save the city, but he was not honored for doing this great thing because he was a poor person. So if you're in this world and you actually see that everything that is in this world is dependent on money, even like in this video, like if I was just flashing stacks of cash and stuff like that, there would be a different response in your life. If you're a person who's like making it rain wherever you go, there will be a different response. Maybe that's how you are, and you know that, right? Or you know how it works, how people are actually reacting towards certain things that are very, very obvious and predictable. That a person who has money seems to have funnier jokes, seems to have more friends, seems to have all of these things. But what happens with wisdom is that it is better for you to have wisdom than to have money. So that is settled, because when it goes down to all of the details, it is really up to you and your salvation, right? So how you are saved, what you are as the salt of the earth, it is better for you to have wisdom than for you to have the honor that people give you, right? So even though this poor wise man was not recognized by people with these carnal eyes, he is still recognized by God, because it is through this righteousness that you're able to come close to God. So, but looking at the other coin flip of it, we see that it is not wise. It is not wise. So you cannot be completely wise if you are poor. This is what it's talking about. So this is for you to hustle. This is for me to start hustling, because everything that is in this world is dependent on money. But what is so biting in this whole thing is the fact that a person who is considered poor, this is not actually just referring to money, by the way. This is referring to a person who is thought to be deficient in one way or another. Poor in speech, poor in height, even poor in looks, poor in heart, poor in energy, poor in anything. Like if you're deficient in anything, your words of wisdom are not received how they are supposed to be received, or they're not received with the same caliber of reception that a person who has money, just having money, or just having a good reputation, or just having a lot of different awards. You don't have to be the best rapper, but just because this rapper has won Grammys, they mention it, because now he has more to say. So he has a better say. He has more authority. So he has more authenticity. So this is where we get the idea of gold, the idea of silver, and everything that we have, because authority, AU, is how we get authentic, and the authenticity comes from the gold standard, because AU is the symbol for gold in the periodic table. This is like, look at it. This is just AU, and this is how we have authorities. This is how we have authentic. This is how we have auspice. So all of these things actually come from gold. So having this gold is actually how you become audible. So for a person to have this AU, to have the gold, this is how you gain an audience. This is actually how it is, which is to say that your riches in something, because it is what brings you closer to kings, is your diligence, your delight in something, your light, right? Which is how you become close to kings, and this is how you develop your life or anything. But through this is how you actually gain your authenticity, your authority, and everything like that. So this is us speaking in terms of wisdom, in terms of understanding how it is applied in this world that we live in under the sun, because we're speaking in Ecclesiastes about the things that happen under the sun. So under the sun, it is the fact that if a person who has a good idea is not the richest person in the room, then he's not going to be heard, and his wisdom, like, it's actually despised. Like, they actually hate him for saying it. So say that his wisdom is actually despised. They'd be like, hey, why is this guy even talking? Because he doesn't have money. So we live in a world where money makes the world go round, and also money talks, because it is AU, it is audible. So money actually talks. So this is how we see that the mouth of a wise person is actually gold. This is how it is translated. But gold is also not just metaphysical, but it's also something that is tangible and physical. Because through metaphysics, this is how they were turning lead into gold, or leading lead to gold, right? So this is how it is. So us understanding that in everything that happens, your entire approach to the world around you is going to be governed by how people perceive your money, which is the thing that is spoken of in Ecclesiastes, that there is a poor man and there's a rich man. The rich man, although he has riches, he is not wise, but people will still be led by this person who is foolish but rich. So this is what's happening in all of our societies. Look around you. This is what's happening, because the people who are really in love with money, making money, are the people who are running societies. And this is why our world is the way that it is, because we're now being led away by us listening to money and not listening to the voice of God. Because my sheep know my voice. Audio is talking about gold. So the goal is the gold. So listening to God's voice is the goal of a person who's really after gold. And this is how you become rich. So this rich is actually, in this chapter, is speaking about the honor that a person was supposed to have. So this person was without honor. So they were not honoring him. And when you honor something, you say he's on our. This is how you say honor. On our. And this is how we have the lingo in a ship, because everything that is happening is a ship, because everyone is born through water and everyone has a naval, so everyone's a navy. So that's a deep science that is governing the whole world. You are in a ship. Are you in a relationship, citizenship, companionship, companyship, whatever? You're in a ship. So we live the ship life. So this is honor. This is how the captain of a ship is honored, and all of these people on a ship honor the captain, and they're always going like "Arr," because they're talking about on our. So this is something like common to us. So this is speaking about this wise man not having something that is commonly honored around these people. And in a ship, the person who gets honor is the captain. The captain actually means the capita, which is the capo, which is the head. So this is speaking about the head. This is the logic. So people need logic in order to follow certain things. So in a ship, you have a captain. The captain is the capital. So capital gives the captain the power. So without the captain, without the capital, then the captain is not honored, because there is no captain. So having a captain is having capital. So the captain, being a captain, is what it's talking about. So even if a person on a ship saves a whole ship, he needs to have honor among his people so that they can actually listen to him. So he needs to have a head. This is capital. So this is a basis, capital. So in order to start any business, you might have the best business idea in the world, but the fact that you don't have the money, everyone thinks that it's silly, right? And all of these things happen in such a way. But the moment you have money, everyone now wants to give you money. This is how, even to whom he has, more will be given. This is how it works. Because to him who has honor, more honor will be bestowed on him. But you might have wealth, or not riches, not wealth. You might have riches, but not have honor. Because honor is a greater key, is a greater mastery. This is how we say this is wealth, this is richness, this is not being poor. So it is not wise for a wise man to be poor. A wise person honors God with his wealth. It is a wise person who leaves a fortune for his children's children's children. It is also a wise person who knows that money is a protection, wisdom is a protection. But the advantage of money is that, but the advantage of wisdom is that it actually is a tree of life. It prolongs your life, unlike money. So money is a protection, okay? And money answers all things. This is what the wisdom tells us. So your wisdom is incomplete without money. And having money is not wisdom. So even if a person has money, they still need wisdom. So it is better for you to have wisdom than to have money, even if everyone does not appreciate what you're saying, because even wisdom complains. Like wisdom says, hey guys, I am here, I am shouting and no one is listening. This is what wisdom is always saying. Like, she shouts at the streets, no one is paying attention, and this is how it's always going to be, even though that is true wisdom. And people are always going to be led astray by things that are carnal, things that are fleshly. So having the mind on the throne, having the mind on the kingdom of God, is having your mind on the true basis of wisdom, which is the basis of understanding, which is the basis of substantiation, creation. Wisdom comes with productivity. Wisdom comes with proverbs, proactive. So a wise person is always active. A wise person is not slothful. A wise person is diligent, and all of these things. So in order for your wisdom to be complete, it means that you need to have fruit, because wisdom is a fruit. So you need to be fruitful. So to be fruitful and multiply. So this is how you serve the multitudes, by being fruitful with multiples. This is how Jesus had to multiply. He was not a poor man, even though he didn't have physical cash on him. He was not a poor man. He was a man of wisdom, which is how the actual gold is the voice, the audio, the AU of God. This is the actual voice. But that is what true wealth is. So the poor man's wisdom is any deficiency where a person's supposed to have excellence. This is the poverty that they're speaking about and alluding to. And let's also not forget that it's actually speaking about actual money. Even though it's not just speaking about actual money, it's also speaking about that, which is something that a lot of people are supposed to have. Having God will give you gold, because all of the people who served God have their lives taken care of them. This is how David is saying, like, I have never seen the righteous begging for bread. Okay, so it is not wise to be poor. It is wise to have wealth, and this is how we honor God. We honor him with our wealth. We honor him with our fruit, the first fruit. So there have to be fruits. There has to be production. There has to be diligence. There has to be productivity. There has to be multiplication. There has to be mathematics. So once we learn wisdom, we understand that the path is math. So this is mathematic or math technique, math technique. So these techniques are how we solve every problem, like every problem in math. Like math is an exercise of solving different problems, right? So how you solve any problem in your life is a path in math. This is mathematics, and math actually means mathema, or the art of thinking. This is what it means. Math means to think, the exercise of using your mind. So having the power of math is having the path, having the way, a way of doing things. This is the path. This is the math. And how we attach this to life is with wisdom, because wisdom is in everything. And this is how we multiply, fruitful and multiply. To multiply is mathematics. So go and do math. Go and multiply. Be mathematic. This is how we become wise. And this person who was not honored for his wisdom was a person who did not have that metric, because it's speaking about the metrics, the money, the dosh, right? So just go on your path and start multiplying. Be fruitful and multiply. Be fruitful and multiply. The path is math.